Hey everyone, welcome back to another part of the website development series using ReactJS. I know this video is late, so no worries, let's start. And in the previous videos, we have seen that what are routes, what are nested route, and how to use that all stuff. So in today's video, we'll see what is an API, what is an API call, and how do we integrate, how do we fetch some data from a server or from a third party server, from our own server, doesn't matter. So the basic concept of this video is how can you fetch some data from a server, that is called an API call. Okay, so the first thing that comes in your mind is what is an API. So API simply stands for Application Programming Interface, which is nothing but it is a way to contact two programs of a computer. Okay, so what is an API call? Suppose you are visiting to crickbus.com and crickbus.com is showing you live scores. So what is happening in the backend? Okay, so let's see. There is another computer that is called server, which has all the scores, all the live scores, all the real time data. And there is a user computer. Suppose you are user and you have a computer or you have a phone is also a computer, right? So you are using crickbus.com on your phone or on a computer, but the live score or real time data is kept on the server. So what it does, it make a API call to the server. It calls to the API that give me this kind of data, give me data of this particular match, and server returns with a data to user's phone or user's application or user's browser, and then browser fetch all the data and shows you the live data. So that's all about the API call. And let's see the practical implementation of this API call in our React application. So first we'll open our VS Code editor and let's create a white project. So simply type npm create white at the latest. Okay, so this is simple steps I have also done in my previous videos. So project name is simple API call, and I will use React and I will use JavaScript, and done. So I will go to this folder, right click and open in integrated terminal, and now I will run npm I, or you can also run npm install. If you have followed my previous videos, you pretty much know about it. Okay, so after installing, we'll run our server, our development server, and then we'll see how we can implement. Okay, so basically there are two ways to implement API call in our application. The first one is through a fetch method, which is pre-built in the JavaScript, and another is Axios library, which has to be installed, which should be installed in your project to use that. Okay, so we'll see both of them, that how you can use Axios, how you can use fetch, and what are the difference of code between them. Okay, so as you can see, my node modules are installed, and now I'll simply start my server, npm run dev, and let's go here. Okay, so this is my application that is given by the white. Okay, so I will go to src app.jsx and I will clean all the code, and I will simply write rfce and done. You can see here. Okay, and I will also remove all of this and all of the css. I'll keep it simple. Okay, so this is my simple website. Here you can see I have written app, so here app is given. So API call, if I'll write, you can see here API call. Okay, so we'll use a dummy API. Okay, so we'll go to some news API, or you can say free news API. Here you can see newsapi.org, and it provides us the news API for testing and development purposes. Okay, here you can see the data. So basically this is the API. When we hit this, it goes to its server where the data is kept, and it connects to database. Whatever it does, it is not our work, it is the work of the server, that it connects to a database or it has a static data, doesn't matter to our front end. So when we hit this, the backend processes our data. uh, you can see here, like there is a query like Tesla from and sort by published, and here is the API key. So basically API key is used for the authentication to the server, because everyone can't fetch with the sorry everyone can't fetch the news. Okay, so there is a API key. So to identify that the this is the original API request. Okay, so I will simply click on the get API key, and it is asking me for the login and registration, but I have already registered. I will simply log in here and log in. Okay, so this is my API key. You can also use my API key. It has a limit of 100 API calls, so if you exceed that, it will show you a error. Okay, so I will simply copy this. Okay, and I will paste. No, I will not paste. I'll simply go there, and here I will refresh. You can see I am logged in with my email ID, and here you can see API key is given here, and here is the get request, and this is the type of the API call. Okay, so let's see what are the types of an API call. So simply Google it. Okay, types of API calls, and I will show you the all. What are the types of API calls? Where are they? Okay, so this is a simple REST API. Okay, here you can see it has a method like get, post, put, and delete. You much familiar about delete. If you send delete call request, it deletes some data from the database or from the server. When you put a get request, then you get some data from the server. When you put a post request, then it posts some data or add some data to the database, and if you fetch put, then it modifies some data. Okay, so we'll discuss further about this all. No worries, I have just given you the overview of the types of calls. So simply copy this. This is the server. Basically this is the server address, you can say that. So this is the server address, and we have to go to this server and get the data. Okay, so let me zoom this, and yes. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to fetch some news after a user opens our application, after users hits to our application. Okay, so in the previous videos I have told you about a hook, that is a use effect hook, which is instantly get called when our application is initialized, when our page is initialized. So we want that when user opens our application, the news should be shown. So first we have to get the news from the news server, and we have the server. This is the server, but let me copy and paste it here. It should work. Okay, so this is the particular data. Okay, and this data should be shown in the application. Okay, so simply you will use the use effect, and this is the simple structure of a use effect hook. Inside this we'll make call of fetch news. Okay, sorry. So first we make a function const and fetch news. Okay, so not const, it should be function. Okay, fetch news, and we'll fetch news from here. So simply write fetch and call this, and okay, and paste it as a string. Now this is basically a server URL. Okay, and you can see here that this is a get request. Okay, so we don't have to specify this fetch function that this is a get request, because by default fetch hits a get request. When this will be the post request, we have to say this fetch function that this should be a post request. Okay, so we हम वहाँ पे नहीं जा रहे, simply will see the get request. Okay, so now call this function here in the use effect fetch news. So what it will do, it will make a call to this server when our application opens up. Okay, so let's open our application. Our application is running on 127 point something, and here no what is the port of our application? I forgot that. So where is the URL? I'm searching. Okay, this is the URL. Okay, here you can see API call is written. We can't see something, na? But it is making requests to the server. Let's see. Just right click and open inspect and go to the network tab and refresh your page. Here something is yes, this one. Here you can see the data. Okay, so you can see this. We have made a call to everything, right? And this is our query, and this is the data. So our application is making the network call, means it is fetching the data. Okay, so now with what we have to do, we have to do a parsing of the all data, and we have to show all the data inside our application or inside our website, inside our page. You can say anything. Okay, so we first we have to see this. This is a curly braces, right? So this curly braces are called objects, and this big brackets are called the arrays. So we have to keep in you have to keep in mind that this is object and this is a array. So articles is a data type of an array, and inside that there are many objects. Okay, so there are many objects. So source data type is a object, and author data type is a string, because this is inside double quotes. Okay, and everything is a string like content, publish at, URL to image, URL, description, title, author. But source is a object data type. Here you can see there are curly braces. Okay, so we'll see how you can show that. So here you can see total results. This is a data type of number, or you can say integer. Okay, so we will see how we can get that. So first we have to make this async function. Why I am making this async function, let me show you that. So first let me comment this. Okay, let me comment this and remove this async. Okay, so suppose I have a network call. So network call may take 1 to 2 seconds or 3 seconds. In some websites you can see there is a progress bar or a loading bar which shows that data is being fetched. Okay, so suppose this function takes some time. Suppose it takes some time of 2 seconds, of 3 seconds, which is not determined. And after that I need to get my data from this all. I need to parse all the data and show inside this. Okay, so let me show you that when I write a console.log hello, I am fetching. Okay, and done. Uncomment this and hello, I am fetching, and it will fetch, and console.log hello, data is fetched. Okay, so what it will be doing is first it will say hello, I am fetching. After fetching the data, it will say hello, data is fetched. But this will not work properly, as you can see. Okay, so let's see how you can do this. Okay, so simply const response is equals to fetch. Okay, So response means this all data will be the response, and it will be recorded inside this variable, this that is response, and also will log the response. Done. Done. Now go to the console tab and refresh. It is showing that hello, I am fetching, hello, data is fetched, and object type is promise. But this should be a object of response, but currently it is a promise because data is being fetched and this console log is called. If you see, at first console log is called. You can see hello, I am fetching. Again, fetch is also called, means it is retrieving the data from the server. Now while retrieving the data from the server, this is also got executed, and we can see hello, data is fetched. That's why its data type is promise. Okay, but what we have to do, we have to make this code call whenever the data is fetched from the server. So we'll simply write await here and make this function await. We have to make this function async. So what it will be doing is this will be fetching, and after fetching successfully, it will be logging our data. Okay, so refresh this. Now you can see that hello, I am fetching, and here you can see hello, data is fetched. Done. And you can see the object is response type. So we'll see how you can extract data from the response. Okay, so simply const data is equals to response.json. We have to call this. Okay, so what is this response.json? Response.json is basically a function which convert all the data. Here you can see in the network tab. Where is the network tab? Okay, here this data is in, you can see this in a JSON format, but actually it is a response format. So we have to convert it into a JSON format before passing it. Okay, so it will also take some time. So we have to also make it await. So when it will get executed, we have to log the data. So console.log and then data. Now go to console. Here you can see the data, status, articles, and I have told you article data type is an array. So you can see array of size 100, and this is an object, and here you can see all the data after fetching. Hello, I am fetching, and after that you can get all the data. Okay, so let me explain once again the flow. The first, when user opens, use effect is being called, and fetch news is also being called. Now fetch news console.log, hello, I am fetching. So it is showing a log, hello, I am fetching. And fetch function, I have told you, fetch function simply making an API call to this server, and this server is returning some response which is being stored in this variable, but this response is data type of response. So we have to convert this response into a JSON type, because this code will understand JSON. Okay, so it will also take some time. So I have made this await. Okay, so when it will make await, and when the whole response is converted into a JSON, now we are logging this data, and we can see the whole data. Okay, so now we have to show our news here. So we'll use a map function. Okay, so let me tell you what is a map function. Map function is basically for the arrays in the JavaScript, and it is used to transform an array. Okay, so currently the array is in this type, like articles, and this all articles is an array, and array has some objects. Okay, you can see this. Okay, so I have to transform this array. I have to make this array something like a news website. Suppose I am going to Times of India, or or some other websites, Times of India. Here you can see this is the formatted data, na? Like you can see the first, suppose this is the first content is Tesla of, this is the title, right? So you can show user like this, open this and close this. Okay, so you have to show some format like this. So you have to transform this array into something like HTML div and paragraph tags. So what I will do is simply go there and make a curly braces. So I have told you in previous videos that if you want to render a variable inside the JSX tag, you have to use curly braces. So let me make a variable which will store all the news. So news comma set news and use state. So here a question arises, why I am not using let or var news is equals to an empty array, and here I can simply okay, so before using this all, let me show you how you can get the all array. So you know this is a simple object, so getting some field from an object is simply like using dots. So I will use dots, and dot is articles field, so I will use articles and refresh the page. So you can see simple arrays. Okay, so I am only getting the log of the articles. Okay, so here question arises ki, why I am not using let news and news is equals to data dot articles, because it will also store the articles in this news variable. It will be working, but our state is not updated. What actually happens when our website is loaded, there is a state. Okay, so there is state, that is API call. Now what I have done is I have changed this variable, but this page is not changing its state. It is saying that I have my initial data and I am not going to change, because I am not informed of the changes in the variable. So what I have to do, I have to also change the state of website, or I have to rebuild the state. So that's why I am using the use state hook, and I have also explained about the use state hook in my previous videos, so you can see these videos. And set news is data dot articles, and done. Now the news is set. Okay, now we only have to show the news. Okay, so I will show the news dot map and then this. Okay, so I have to map this and make every array objects to a div, so it can be shown. Okay, so simply what I will return I will give a div. Okay, inside the div what I will return is, it will give me news, so I will set it new and index. Okay, let me make one more. Sorry, what it is going to be. Oh, sorry, new and index. What it is, I don't know why this is happening. Let's remove this, and news dot map index comma. Okay, done. So first I will get every news article. So suppose there are 100, right? So map will iterate 100 times, so every time it will return its index and its index item. So I will write simply item and index, so it will index and item, and I will be returning div every time. Okay, so I will be returning div, and inside the div I will be showing the item. And if you see, the item data type is an object. Here you can see this, these all are an object. So I have told you, if you have to get some field from an object, you have to simply use dot, and I will write content and item dot content. So news will map, and okay, now I have to give some margin also. So I will use style and curly braces and margin top will be 10, and done. It is done. Let's see, there is an error or what, our website renders or not. Here you can see this, there is an error, cannot read properties of undefined reading map. Here you can see this news is undefined because we have not given any initial value to this, and if this is undefined, there is no any function like map, so it is showing this particular variable is undefined and this is not an array, so you can't use map on this variable. Okay, so what you have to do is make this an data type of array or an empty array. So now the data type is array and an empty array. When data is fetched, it will become articles of 100 arrays, and here you can see after some time I am getting the data. When I refresh, I am getting the data. You can see, you can see the whole news data is fetched here. So okay, that's all for this video, and in the next video we'll see how you can design this divs and how you can show loading indicator. There are different types of loading indicator like determinate, indeterminate, or percentage also. So we'll see in the next video how you can show the loading progress indicators. And that's all for this video. Hope you find this video useful. So keep liking, keep subscribing. Thank you so much guys for this video.